Hey everyone, it's Mike Baltos. Welcome to the Orderflows market analysis for Wednesday, October 4th, 2017. Another day, another new high in the equities. And, it's nice to see the market getting some movement. The dollar and treasuries didn't get much movement. I think we're a little changed. We got a lot on the calendar this week. With obviously Friday, you've got the non-farm payrolls coming out. So let's just jump into it. There's a few classic examples of order flow analysis buys and sells today. So this disclaimer is something I read every day. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. As usual, the tools I use in this presentation are the Orderflows Trader Volume Footprint Chart, the Delta Scalper, and the Price Rejector, which are two additional tools that I created to read the order flow for you. Okay, so coming into the U.S. Session, equities were very tight range again, just like yesterday, if not even a little bit tighter actually. We're coming to 8 o'clock, and we make this new low just after 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock, 25.29.5. Our high for the day is 25.33.25. So you're not even talking a 4-point range. That's how quiet it was. Cash opened. Okay, well here on this low, you have a divergence, no ratio. You have the Delta Scalper giving you a signal. You got volume at 1241 the first time, 86 the second time. But after the cash open, you've got price rejector, you've got a divergence, you've got a ratio. Couple that with the less volume that you saw than the first time, and it's a bit bullish. It's a bit bullish here right after the cash opened. And I keep in the back of my mind, we've only got a 4-point range just about. And what can you expect from the market? If you're expecting a rally from the low to the high, it's not going to take much. But what happens is we start to rally. We start to rally from the 30.5 area, just up to the 32.5. Come back down, hit the low, make new lows, and on the second time, on this new low here at 848, what do you got? You've got a ratio, you've got a divergence, you got the Delta Scalper giving you a buy here, which is, what you want to see. I mean, yes, you had it sort of here earlier. Did it rally? Yeah, it rallied a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the greatest rally in the world, but you still got a little bit of move. Maybe you could have got something out of that move. But you got another buy signal here. Even though you made that new low, on the new low, you got another buy signal. What happens is it starts crawling along, like a, I don't know what you want to call that, type of centipede or something. It's just sort of loping along, not really doing anything. It's not until about 10:30 that, boom, the buying really starts to come in. But is there any reason to be selling in here? No. Nothing in the order flow telling you to get out of your position or get short. Not in the least. There's nothing telling you that. And if you're patient, I said, yesterday you had to wait a long time for the move to happen in the S&Ps, but when it happened, it was kind of a nice move. So you're talking a move from, the low here at 25, just above 25.29. If you're getting long around 25.30, what happens is you finally get a nice rally. It gets all the way up here where you get the Delta Scalper giving you a sell signal up at 25.36. This Delta Scalper fails. You make a new high. Just up here at 11:30, you start to come off, and then you just sort of go sideways the rest of the session. But what was the signal? What was the trade of the day? Well, there was two trades. There's this one here. You can't overlook it. Even though it's a small move, it's a legitimate trading opportunity. You got to take it. It's not a great move, but it's a move. But then here again, even if now again, I know some people will take this move, ride it all the way up here, let it come down here, still be in the position, get stopped out, and then send me a nasty email. Oh, your trading method sucks. Well, why didn't you take something out of this when it was in your favor, or trail your stop to at least break even? It just comes down to knowing how to trade, I guess. But even if you took a loss there, okay, even if you took a loss of a point or so, a point and a tick, so 5 ticks, you got another opportunity here. And if you're patient and you held it, you're rewarded. You make back what you lost on the first trade if you took a loss on the first trade. So that was the S&Ps today. Okay, so this next market I'll talk about is crude oil. So this is the 8-range crude chart, and we started coming in making new highs as New York started getting in, and you can see 611 new high, 648 new high, 720 new high. You hit a new high here at 828, and you got the Delta Scalper coming in, giving you a nice sell signal up here, just right off the high around the 5036, 5034 area. Again, it's one of these things with the Delta. If you're not using Delta in your trading, you're missing out on a very valuable piece of information. You can see how the market sold off from this 30 area down into the teens before the number came out. The inventory numbers came out today. It was Wednesday. Market going fast market mode. Not a lot of liquidity. 948. You got another sell signal here with the Delta Scalper. I don't know if I'd take it. It's a little bit close to the number. I mean, it's closer to 10 o'clock than it is to 9:30. Maybe you'd be interested in taking it. If you did, you got to be very fast. It made a quick move down to 38, went sideways a little bit, poked down into the mid-20s before rallying back up to this new swing high here. You got a ratio bounds low. I know there's some volume at the top of this bar, so I'd find this bar kind of acting as a resistance area. And then you got Delta Scalper coming in again right after this swing high, and it just falls over here. So again, maybe you're not convinced that this is a swing high. Then you get the Delta Scalper coming in. At this point, you should be sort of leaning towards getting short. I mean, there's no reason to believe that we're going to just all of a sudden rally and go higher. If you're going to be predisposition to something, it's to be short, not long. I mean, what do you see? Do you see any buying going on in here? Any aggressive buying? No. In fact, you see a zero print in there. You're seeing imbalances. And then, then the selling really picks up on this move down. 174, 269, 1000. The delta is what I'm looking at here. Stack selling imbalance. You got a little bit of a bounce here with the green candle. But then you just continue on down. Just keep on selling down. So again, if you're not using Delta, right, this is Delta Scalper, right? It's a tool I created to analyze the Delta. I used to analyze this in my head, okay, before I realized, hey, why don't I just have my programmer program it for me? And so he did. I mean, so that's why I get these indicators programmed. People try and think that, it's like thing with like a moving average, right? Is you're just taking an average of prices, manipulating, times. People got all these different types of moving averages looking at, weighted moving average, exponential moving average. Why not just learn how to trade? I mean, I don't need the Delta Scalper. It's designed just to do the calculation that I would just do in my head. I would just look at, what the market was doing. What's the price action right now? What's the delta? Analyze that. I would do just like these ratios here. I used to do these calculations in my head, and then I decided, hey, why don't I just pay some guy to program it, and so I don't have to do that. Just make my life a lot easier, and I did, and that's how this whole Orderflows.com software company came about. It's because I started talking to people about it, and like, hey, that's interesting. Can you sell it to me? Because people don't want to just. People are shy, I guess, just to ask for it for free. So that's why I get these things programmed. These are tools that I've been using for years, right? Instead, I used to do them in my head. I said, hey, hey, idiot, why don't you just pay somebody to program it up there for you? Okay. So I'm a bit of a slow mover. I'm a bit of an old school guy. I'm a point and click guy. I'm not let's just program everything and automate it like that. But I do like to have some signals automated in the sense that it takes some of the work off my shoulders, right? That I don't have to sit there. I could analyze a few more markets and do everything that way. So anyway, you got a nice signal here, and you're talking the 50-40s, 50-44, 50-45 area. What happens? Boom, you get a beautiful move down to new lows. Down here to 49.76, and what do you get? Delta Scalper giving you a buy here. So it's Delta Scalper's reading all this here, and this is just beautiful, right? It's a nice move down, and look at these deltas: minus 1,000, minus 783, minus 823, minus 260. Okay, then Delta Scalper kicks off here. You got positive delta of 907, and I said if you're just looking at this, you might be thinking, hey, this market is probably still going lower. We still got some selling. But by analyzing the delta and understanding what's happening in the delta, you realize that no, it's actually shifting from a supply-driven market, with a lot of selling, to a demand-driven market with a lot of buying. And what happens is this market starts to move up from the 49.90s all the way back up above, $50, into the teens again. Here's a Delta Scalper that failed. Then you go into the close right here, and this is where we are in the evening session. So there was some decent trades to be had. This was a nice trade to have. Obviously, this one big trade right here was nice to have, and there was one or two trades. This one here at 8:30 until until 9-ish, 9:15 is okay. Like I said, that's not the monster move that you like, but hey, if you could get a quick trade in before the API numbers. What did I just say? Before the numbers, I got a lot of stuff on my mind. Before the inventory numbers come out, from 15, 18 cent move. Hey, that's great. Before the inventory numbers come out, you don't want to be in a position while the numbers are released and the market goes into a fast market mode. But still, there were some trades to be had here, some decent trades to be had in the crude today. All right, so this is bonds, and bonds are interesting. Kind of a quiet market. As a lot of these markets have been quiet coming into the morning session. So about 4 o'clock, you made your low here. You got a bullish ratio. You got price rejector giving you a buy signal. You got one of the volatiles indicators giving you a buy signal. Rallies up to this high. Delta Scalper. You got a divergence kicking in. Market sells off. Excuse me. You get down here just off the low. You got the Delta Scalper giving you a buy. This one doesn't work out. Then obviously you got the number that came out there at 9, and you start making new lows, 923. And then here 1125, you've got a divergence. You got point of control towards the bottom, and next bar you got your ratio, and you got the Delta Scalper. So you got a lot of stuff going on here that's telling you, hey, this market is now exhibiting buying coming in. Right here you see all selling, right? Imbalance, 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 imbalance. But things are changing. That's why Delta Scalper, it's designed to pick up these changes pretty quick. And what happens is this market rallies. It rallies from 16 all the way up to the close. We closed at about 26. So that's a nice 10-tick move. Even if you just get half of that or less than half, that's 4 or 5 ticks. 4 or 5 ticks. That's good already in the bonds. But it's, Delta Scalper is designed to pick up these changes, these subtle changes that are happening that maybe, to the naked eye, you can't see so easily, especially if you're not used to reading order flow, to seeing it happen in the order flow, that it's getting that move. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. To learn more about the trading software used in this presentation and how you can succeed with order flow trading, visit my website, orderflows.com, and go to the deltascalper.com website to learn more about the Delta Scalper. I think it's a great tool to help you in your trading, especially if you're new to order flow. It's a great way to ease into order flow and add a different element to your trading. So thanks everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.